Is the MiG-23 getting a big nerf? Hello guys, once again it's Matt. Thank you all the members and patrons, make sure to subscribe. And yes, it kind of flew under my radar, but this week we had kind of a confirmation that the MiG-23 and 27s will get a big nerf, okay? So basically there was a bug report made by a player that claimed that the MiG-23 is overperforming. Kind of a big overperforming gap, to be honest. You know, it was kind of 20% more turn than it should actually have. He tested on the ML, but the developers actually confirmed that they are going to work on it for all the MiG-23s, and the reason why, apparently it is a misinterpretation about, you know, the missiles having more drag and, you know, before than today, and with that, they basically mismodel it, the drag and the amount of energy that the aircraft can actually have, pulling Gs, etc. Right? It's something along those lines. And basically, the nerf would be a 20% less turn capability, especially measured in Gs. Of course, Gs are not the only measurement that you can take in a turn, but it is one of the main ones, right? So it would basically be pulling less Gs, and kind of a hefty margin. I will leave the links in the description for you to take a look on the actual bug report, and I will leave, of course, the images in the screen. But yeah, they confirmed that. They're not confirming that those numbers are going to be correct. Of course, they are going to do their own research, and we have to wait to see how big of a nerf it is. It might not be as big as people are thinking about that bug report, because again, Gaijin will have their own manuals, their own calculations with the physics in the game, etc. And with that, it might not be the same, it might be worse, or it might be better in the performance that that person is actually claiming on the manual and stuff. So at the end of the day, we will need to wait. But indeed, a nerf to the MiG-23 is coming. When? Well, probably this week, I would think. You know, we are almost getting to the update cycle, so we probably will get it very, very soon. Probably in the Wednesday update, or maybe something like that. Probably just a little bit. It's a small change in the sense of it doesn't completely change the flight model, just the amount of turn and stuff, the drag and stuff. So it probably is an easy fix for them, you know, as programmers and stuff. So we need to wait, but still, you should expect one very, very soon. A nerf to the MiG-23s. And all of them, by the way. MiG-23s, 27s, the 23BN, the M, the ML, the MLD, the MLA, you know, all of them. So what does this actually mean for the MiG-23s? Well, at the end of the day, it depends on how much it will actually be nerfed, but according to what that player is actually saying about the manual and stuff, it would be around 20%, as I said. So it would probably start losing in a raid fight or something like that against an F5, which is something that you can actually win right now, especially with the MLD, but even with the MiG-23M, you know, it's an aircraft that, although very, very known to be kind of problematic in the turning capabilities, because if you don't know, the MLs, they're 1,250 kilograms lighter than the ML, if I'm not mistaken. So the M's, from the M's to the MLs, MLDs, MLAs, there is a big gap in performance between the two of them. And even the M could actually, can actually in the game right now beat the F5 in a raid fight, which is kind of mad. You know, it's kind of maybe way too good. But at the end of the day, it will still be an aircraft that has a lot of performance, especially the MLD with the R35 engine, you know. The R35 might be arguably one of the best turbojets ever made in power to weight that we have in the game, you know. So it is a very powerful engine, and with that you can still use tactics that are very, very effective against some of the targets. It's just that I think at the end of the day you will need to choose your dogfights a little bit more carefully, you know. So if it's an F5, for example, don't try to get into a dogfight, which is something that if you are an expert MiG-23 pilot, you probably wouldn't care too much right now. You know, you get into dogfights against everything, because this thing actually beats almost everything in a dogfight, which is kind of telling on maybe it's overperforming a little bit, right? Maybe, yeah, I didn't think about this. This might be over to like way to performance, you know. I never thought about it actually, because a lot of people claim that the MLD could actually beat an F-16A in a dogfight, which is kind of weird to think about, but there's a lot of people that claim that, right? So, yeah, oh well, right? But at the end of the day, if you use it correctly, you know, you can still use it as a very proper interceptor. The R-24s are amazing missiles. Even the R-23's, to be honest, they are not the worst missile ever. They are still better than an AIM-7 normally, especially at longer ranges. Against a short range, against the E2, for example, Sparrow, yeah, not that great, but still, in the longer range kind of engagements, the R-23T and R can actually be used very well. You know, united with the speed that this aircraft has, I still believe that this is going to be one of the best third-generation aircraft in the game, even with the NERF. So, just try to think about it like that. Try to not get too much into a dogfight. And if you see a MiG-23 getting into a dogfight and you are in a dogfighter, like an F-16, like an F-5, note that probably you will beat it very easily after the NERF. Of course, the NERF isn't implemented yet. One thing that a lot of people don't consider is that the MLD could actually carry the R73, so maybe this is the window that Gaijin wanted to actually add that missile. I personally doubt it, but it would be funny, you gotta admit, if they actually nerf the performance of the MLD, for example, and add an R73 to it at 11.3, right? It would be very, very, I mean, at least funny, right? I mean, come on. But, yeah, guys, at the end of the day, if you are an F4, I still believe that you will suffer to win against it. You know, maybe the F4F, you know, or the E's with the Agile Eagle packages, maybe they can beat it, but at the end of the day, the F4 is still a very sluggish aircraft. All the others that you can face in these BRs, I mean, the F8, from time to time you will face a MiG-23, can beat it in a dogfight, you know, probably. The F8 can beat the MiG-23 right now, depending if you know how to use it. So, yeah, the MiG-21s, you know, so it's, I don't think it is going to change that much. That's my opinion on it. I think it opens up a little bit of a question mark on how much they will nerf this aircraft, and if they are going to change the BR of it, the addition of the R73. But at the end of the day, if nothing changes and just this nerf exists, I think the only real aircraft that will really feel it is the F5. All the other ones, I mean, F104s will still probably turn less. Of course, turn less. The F4s will still turn less. Maybe the J8, the J7. These aircraft might feel it, that it is easier to kill it. But at the end of the day, a lot of these aircraft already can beat a MiG-23 in a dogfight. So it's not like it's changing too much, you know. So yeah, I think it's good that the Gaijin actually is fixing a bug, if there is one. But yeah, if you are a MiG-23 pilot, be careful of, after this nerf, you know. And if you are hunting MiG-23s, go at it, because it is going to be a little bit easier. Okay, guys? But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about this possible nerf coming. And yeah, see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, and bye, guys.